Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads, where today we're going to talk about my 2025 kind of priority reads, books, series, stuff that I want to get to in 2025. So this is going to be a more discussional type video, not a lot of editing here. We're just going to run through some things. So first I want to talk about some of the books that I want to get to in 2025. I do have a stack, and I talked about these, and one of the book tags I did for the Beefcake Challenge, but it has a lot of the books that are kind of priority for me. And so I wanted to run through those again. Obviously, I talked about the Mistborn trilogy. I want to read that in 2025, so that's on there. We're going to be reading Lonesome Dove at the beginning of January as a buddy read. That's on there. I want to get back to the Kingsbridge series by Ken Follett, so Book 2, A World Without End, is on there. You know, I've been reading through the Dandelion Dynasty. Book 4 is on my priority list to finish in 2025. I'm going to be doing a buddy read of Sword of Kaigan. This is a standalone fantasy book that I've been wanting to read for quite some time. This has been on my shelf for a while as well, The Once and Future King, another standalone fantasy novel. As well as this one, Tagana by Guy Gabriel Kay. I've been wanting to read this. I read the first, probably third of this book and just put it down for various reasons, and I want to get back to this. His writing, is really, really good. And then I've been talking about this too. I want to read more nonfiction, and Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson is on my list to read as well. So those are kind of like the pillars. That's 10 books there that definitely are on the list to be read in 2025, and they're 10 big books as well. Amongst that, I want to also read several different series books. We're obviously doing the Sackett series read along, and we're going to be picking that up again in January with books 7 and 8, and so I'm looking forward to that. I also have been working my way through the Evan Tanner series. I'm about halfway through it, and so I want to read the final 4 books in that by Lawrence Block. I also want to get back to the Corey series by Max Allan Collins, Hard Case Crime. I've read the first 4 or 5 books in that series, and I want to continue on with that. I also want to continue on with some other series that I kind of started, and I just didn't, for whatever reason, have the time to get through them. And some of those are the Cork O'Connor series by William Kent Kruger. I read the first book, Iron Lake. I really enjoyed it. I want to get back to that. I also want to get back to the Tracy Crosswhite series by Robert Dugoni. That is also on my radar to get back into, as well as the William Warwick Detective series by Jeffrey Archer. That was another one on my list to get to. Obviously, I'm going to continue reading Sherlock Holmes tales and reviewing them every other week, as well as the Conan tales. I'm getting ready to wrap up The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian, and I'm going to be reading and getting into the next omnibus collection from the Del Rey books from Robert E. Howard, and so I want to continue on with that, as well as continue on reading. I'm almost done with the first book in the Harry Bosch series. By the time you see this, I probably already will be done with this, but I want to continue on. I've read at this point half of this book, and I'm really enjoying it, and so I just can tell this is going to remind me a lot of Lucas Davenport from John Sanford, so I definitely want to continue on with reading some of those, as well as reading the 87th Precinct series by Ed McBain up here. I definitely want to read some of those. I have about 20 of those books. There's like 50 some in the series, and I want to continue reading those. I really enjoyed book 1, Cop Hater. It was great. Ed McBain is definitely one that I could just tell immediately I was going to connect with, and I want to continue reading those as well. And then I also want to read some H.P. Lovecraft in 2025. I got this omnibus collection of about 20 of his tales. It's not the complete works, but I definitely thought it was a great entry point, and especially for the price. I got this at a Barnes & Noble new, and it was on sale. Definitely want to check that out. And then there's other books I want to start. Now, these are books that I may get to, I may not, but I definitely want to get to the big books, and I want to continue on some of the series books like I just talked about. But these are books that I may get to. I've had on my radar. I hope to get to. We'll see how the reading goes. But I definitely want to read some Dean Koontz. I've been picking up a lot of mass market paperback of Dean Koontz, and his 2 short stories I've read from him in his Strange Highways short story collection have been phenomenal. Definitely want to read some standalone novels from Dean Koontz, so that's going to be on the radar. I also want to read the Mike Hammer series by Mickey Spillane. He's a hard case pulp noir writer. I have about the first 12 or 15 books in that series, and I definitely would like to read a couple of those and check them out. There's also the Longmire series. I plan on doing a buddy read with Faceless at Faceless Book Reviews of Longmire. I have the first 3 or 4 of those, and I definitely want to check those out. I've heard a lot about them. I have some other trilogies I'd like to get to. I'd like to get to the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks. I'd like to get the Fionnevar Tapestry trilogy by Guy Gabriel Kay. I would also like to reread The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. We'll see. But there's also a couple other series that I have on my radar. The Virgil Flower series by John Sanford is one that I read the first couple books several years back, and I just put it down for whatever reason. I do have all 12 of the books in that series, and I like to get back to reading those, so I'd like to start that in 2025, as well as the Bernie Rodenbar series, which is the Burglar series from Lawrence Block. I'd like to start reading some of that as well. I do have a couple standalone books that I've been teasing subscribers that have recommended these books, but the Teton Bunch was a book recommended by Faceless. I need to read that. I haven't found a copy of it. I'm going to just bite the bullet and probably order it. And then the Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. Nerdishly Active mentioned I should read that, and I've been meaning to for months and months and months, so I definitely need to get that kind of in the mix. And so those are my kind of reading goals and what's kind of priority for me in 2025. In terms of video content, what is priority in terms of what I'm going to be doing, what's priority, and a lot of it's kind of similar things. I would like to, one priority I have for the channel is continuation of doing some of the things I am doing, From the Shelves, Saturday Shorts. I want to get back to more Why You Should Read and deep dive character study videos. That series that I started with when I first launched the channel is definitely on my radar, as well as continuing to do the Read What You Own. I have a lot of books that I need to read, and so instead of continually doing book hauls, I think in the last 9 months I did like 30 book hauls. I want to continue to read what I own and consume less books and purchase new books or used books. I want to do that more strategically in 2025. And if I'm going to purchase new books, I would like to purchase books from subscribers who are also published and have written their own books, because I think that is a good way to support them. And I think there's some interesting topics in books that are out there. And so I would also like to continue doing, again, more buddy reads. I think I have 5 or 6 buddy reads planned already for the beginning half of the year, and so things are looking pretty good there. I also want to continue the Conan and Sherlock tales. I would like to continue, again, From the Shelves, and do some more dumpster fires and discussions with Logan at Novel Insights. I think that would be a lot of fun. But that is a kind of rapid fire discussionary version of what is priority for me in 2025 when it comes to both books and on the channel. I think it's going to be a lot of good stuff. I'm really looking forward to 2025, and I think it holds a lot in store. I hope you found this interesting and informative, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks.